Hi everyone, and thank you for tuning into my channel. If you're new here, my name is Devana and I discuss disturbing true crime. If you've been watching for a while now, thank you for coming back. In today's video, I will be telling you about the gruesome way that a man's body was strewn across Minneapolis, Minnesota, United States. The most terrifying part is that the perpetrator has yet to be apprehended, meaning whoever did this is likely still walking the streets as you're watching this video right this very moment. The first discovery of dismembered body parts happened the morning of June 17, 2021, but the mystery actually began the night before with a knock on a window. It started out what sounded more of like a knock, like a boom, boom, smash, said an individual who lived in the home, who asked for his name not to be used for fear of retaliation from the unknown assailant. The witness then decided to walk the property with his dog, but they didn't find anyone or anything that night. The next day, a neighbor had found garbage bags filled with body parts, and also just down the street behind the Ukrainian Community Center in northeast Minneapolis, a woman found a leg cut into several pieces, lined up almost as if they were intentionally displayed as some disgusting form of exhibit for everyone and their children to see. The victim was Adam Richard Johnson, a 36-year-old male who, when sober, was a caring and doting father, but he struggled with drug and alcohol addiction and had recently found himself homeless. But when he was high, he was known to be a problem to others, often finding himself caught up in mischief. When interviewing the mother to one of Johnson's children, she said, "No, this was not a gang. This was not a drug cartel. This was somebody that knew him. It's possible he was harassing someone at the time, if he needed a place to stay or if he needed money." Johnson's murder had been difficult on his loved ones, as it would be for anyone, of course. But the hardest part about this whole thing for them has to be how the killer decided to send a message to the family members and to the town by scattering Johnson's body parts around the city. The most gruesome act of all coming 5 days later and 3.5 miles away from the first location. A man walked by a park bench at Franklin Avenue and West River Parkway at about 6:15 a.m. During this time of morning, the trail is usually busy with runners and bikers, and today was no different. Just a half hour later, at 6:45 a.m., somebody else found Adam Johnson's head on the same park bench that had been vacant minutes prior. They alerted the authorities. The victim's head was put on display in broad daylight in a public location. According to the police, Johnson's head had been frozen, but beginning to thaw by the time that they arrived at the scene. Yes, Minnesota is a cold state, but remember, this is the middle of June. During this time of year, the temperature rarely drops below 64 degrees Fahrenheit. This means that the head had to have been frozen in a different location prior to being placed on the park bench. Johnson also had the word perv carved into his forehead. It is safe to assume that this is short for the word pervert, though it's unclear as to why this word was used. Johnson's torso was also soon found in the Mississippi River, but the Minneapolis police have kept relatively quiet on the matter since that final discovery. The FBI has since stepped in to assist with the investigation. The family says authorities are testing DNA found under Johnson's fingernails, but aside from that, not much more information has been released on the topic. The family decided to cremate the remains of Johnson. Well, the remains that have been returned to them anyway. Actually, not all of Johnson's body had been recovered yet. An autopsy was unable to determine a cause of death besides the dismemberment itself, and despite his history with substance abuse, and the toxicology test revealed that Johnson was sober whenever he was murdered with no trace of any illicit substances in his system whatsoever. It is believed that there are multiple people who have some very important information that could help police solve the crime, but authorities also suspect those people are too afraid to come forward, given that the killer is still at large. Johnson's family is pleading for anyone with information to please step forward. "We're here with nothing. We need something. Anything," said a member of the family. If you believe that you may have some information that could help this case, please call the Minneapolis Police Department tip line at 612-692-TIPS or 8477. All tips are appreciated and worthy of a call. even if you think they're too small. You never know, your small tip could lead to this despicable being to a life of imprisonment and get the rightfully deserved justice for Adam Johnson. Thanks to everyone that stuck around to the end. If you made it this far, please let me know what you think of this case in the comments below. Do you think this was a personal attack, or do you think it's a sick-minded individual that targeted Johnson at random? Also, just a reminder, I'll be doing a face reveal once I'm accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and help me reach my goal. I need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours to be eligible to apply. I really think with your help, we can do this. Thanks again for watching. I really do appreciate all of you. See y'all next time. Good night.
Ha 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 ha.